Over at the SEC, they're eating themselves, and in their latest notice to appeal, they royally screwed up. So much so that recently on a Fox News segment, a commissioner from the SEC blatantly admits to their incompetence and overreach. Now, this is not only an admission of mutiny in the ranks over at the SEC, but truly puts the SEC under Gary Gensler in a tough situation, as Ripple and Chief Legal Officer Stuart Alderoty filed their cross appeal today. This puts Ripple and the XRP token in a really strong position to win in their unjust battle with the SEC. And we're already seeing signs in the general markets that the majority believe Ripple is going to win the case, that crypto will have regulatory clarity, and there will be a new chairman at the SEC under a new administration in 2025, as major companies like Stripe, Robinhood, PayPal, and Revolut are ramping up their crypto offerings and services. This is truly exciting news, and it couldn't come at a better time as we close out the year and look forward to a strong start to 2025. So in this video, we'll cover exactly what the cross appeal means for Ripple and the entire crypto industry. We'll also cover how Ripple is changing the game and continuing to expand their business and global reach through their most recent announcement. We'll also cover the price action. So if you're feeling blessed and bullish, comment 777. And if you're going to be the wealthiest person in your family tree, smash the subscribe button. Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul, and we're just going to dive right into this as Ripple plans to cross appeal the SEC case. So on October 2nd, the SEC filed a notice of appeal, and then they had about a 14-day period to do a formal appeal. In that very same time frame, October 10th or today, Ripple planned to cross appeal, and this was major news. However, I think a lot of folks might get this case wrong, and so we're just going to blatantly cut to the chase. Like the SEC's filing last week, Ripple's initial filing is just a notice that it will submit a more comprehensive argument in the future. The SEC's brief may come near to the end of January, while Ripple's opening brief, which would be combined with its opposition to the SEC's brief, would come sometime after that. So yes, this thing is going to roll over into next year. Now, what exactly is the SEC appealing? Well, we have Stuart Alderoty, the chief legal officer over at Ripple, sharing his side of the story. The SEC lost on all key points, and that's why they appealed. Today, Ripple filed a cross appeal to ensure nothing's left on the table. In other words, this is the end of it. When they go to the Court of Appeals, we're officially going to get a total judgment, and ultimately he's hoping for some actual regulatory clarity from legislators themselves. However, as things stand right now, where they're still going through the court process, including the argument that there can't be an investment contract without there being essential rights and obligations found in a contract. Last year, the SEC unsuccessfully tried to take an early appeal of the rulings that Ripple's XRP sales on exchanges and Ripple's other XRP distributions, typically to institutional investors, like to employees and developers, weren't securities. They'll likely go after these again, and they will lose on both. Again, he sounds very confident, which is exciting. We look forward to the Federal Court of Appeals finally putting a stake in the heart of Gensler's misguided attack on our industry. Now, just to be clear, just because they are appealing doesn't mean they are appealing the fact that XRP itself isn't a security. In other words, XRP is not a security. That's not what they are appealing. They even apologized in another case for suggesting a token itself could be a security. That's the law, and an appeal on these other issues doesn't change that. Now, Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, also had some choice words to share, basically stating that he's looking forward to the fate and putting the nail in the coffin for the SEC and Gary Gensler. As he said earlier this month, Gensler and the SEC cared about the rule of law. They would also accept their loss and move on, but they are not interested in faithfully applying the law or in providing clarity to the industry players in the US under Gensler. The agency is not only interested in creating havoc, however, US innovation and technology are going to be damned. And so this is where things get really interesting, as an SEC commissioner, Mark Uyeda, actually appeared on Fox News Live to talk about how everything has been a disaster in their approach to the crypto industry.
Well, it's great to be here.
What is the SEC doing regarding crypto?
Well, I think our policies and our approach for the last several years have been just really a disaster for the whole industry. We have been setting this policy through enforcement. We've done nothing to provide guidance on it. And as a result, this is being shaped by the courts. And different courts have ruled different ways. I think what this Wells notice is, and while I won't comment on the specifics of this litigation, the Wells, what has gone on is part of a broader frustration with the fact that we have not provided interpretive guidance as to what you can and cannot do. And if you are involved in some sort of securities offering, how you register, how you get regulated as a broker-dealer, how you get registered as an exchange.
And I personally have a theory, as now in testimony to Congress, a few other SEC commissioners or peers to Gary Gensler have also been turning on him, basically stating the exact same thing Mark Uyeda just stated, the fact that they've been a disaster in their approach to the crypto industry. My personal opinion is that they all believe Gary Gensler is almost out 100%, whether it is a new administration under Kamala Harris or even Donald Trump. At the end of the day, his time has run short, and so they're probably just trying to cover their asses and basically turn on him and say, we didn't agree with this approach at all. So that way they can move up in this institution. And so I believe that this is going to be the nail in the coffin for the SEC's approach to crypto. 2025 is going to be an amazing year, even if we don't have an extremely strong end to 2024. However, I am still of the opinion we're going to start to get some new highs into the end of December. That said, I'm not typically in agreement with BitBoy and his approach to things. He's a very interesting character. However, in 5 years, you're going to wish you bought more XRP, according to him. And we totally agree over here on the channel. And I think a lot of companies are also in agreement that things are going to start to look up in 2025 for the entire crypto industry. As Cointelegraph just posted, crypto payments are officially back on Stripe, and Stripe is a huge platform and merchant provider, as Stripe now supports stablecoin payments in 150 countries, allowing users to pay with USDC and US businesses to receive USD. Now, here's what's really interesting. USDC is a relatively small player relative to USDT. However, because USDT isn't completely transparent and doesn't apply to the same laws in the United States, USDC is typically the crypto of choice. But this also leaves room for other players like RLUSD from Ripple to also be integrated into Stripe in the future. So things are looking really exciting from that business perspective. And this has been verified by Stripe's product lead, Jeff Weinstein, as crypto on Stripe is officially back, he posted. We're rolling this out to hundreds of thousands of US businesses today. People are going to start using crypto constantly. Again, this leaves the door open for another regulated player like RLUSD to enter the space. And this is further confirmed when you have players like Robinhood, Revolut, and PayPal leading the corporate crypto moves as the floodgates are starting to open. Again, this screams confidence that there will be regulatory clarity, and so these major companies are spending a lot of time, money, resources, talent in expanding their crypto offerings, whether or not Gary Gensler continues to attack crypto. This is a very positive sign that they might have information or are doubling down in the crypto industry because they believe things are going to look up soon. From Robinhood, they rolled out crypto transfer services to its European customers earlier this month. I'm assuming they're going to continue to test over there, and then they're going to roll out to their US customers. Then Revolut is also doubling down and pushing hard into crypto as its team headcount in their crypto organization rose by 60% this year alone. And they even rolled out new virtual cards that enabled customers to pay with crypto. Then you have another major player like PayPal rolling out their stablecoin and offering business-to-business payments. And of course, you have major fund managers like State Street and BlackRock truly doubling down not only in the ETF space, but asset tokenization and much more. This SEC lawsuit has been a big weight on their shoulders. They are officially moving forward. Here's the president of Ripple, Monica Long, sharing that they are bringing an enterprise-grade crypto product to their business. Here's the president of Ripple, Monica Long, sharing that they are bringing enterprise-grade product to crypto businesses, and they're doing it alongside the likes of DBS, SocGen, Forge, and BBVA. And just today, they shared that they are offering bank-grade custody solutions to crypto businesses. In other words, they're going to operate whether or not the SEC gives them clarity to go ahead and offer services like this to major banks. Now, being a custodian is a big deal because the amount of crypto assets custodied is expected to reach $16 trillion by 2030, and moreover, 10% of the world's GDP is expected to be tokenized by 2030. And personally, I believe those are conservative estimates. Now, they are really doubling down on this side of their business, which is really going to help the XRPL and the XRP token itself as it brings and provides more and more liquidity, eyeballs, interest, you name it. The features that they're including in this new functionality and business offering is their AWS Cloud HSM, a pre-configured operational policy framework, the XRPL integration, again, bringing and unlocking a boatload of liquidity to the XRPL, compliance integrations to make sure that their businesses are meeting the regulatory requirements and making sure that they're on board with the risk policies, and then of course improved user interfaces and usability. Now already Ripple custody in this portion of their business is seeing continued momentum with 250% year-over-year customer growth, and they hold 55 plus regulatory licenses and registrations in various jurisdictions. All of these compliance integrations are going to be available 2024 December to early 2025. Again, another major reason we expect things to really take off with the XRP token. Now let's take a look at the XRP price action. So over the last week and a half, we've kind of been chilling in a range between 52 cents up to 54 cents. And yes, we failed to break out with a few different wicks coming up into this range only to see sell pressure. Now the good news is on the daily time frame, we have also failed to break below this range right here at about 52 cents. We do have some very strong wicks at 50 cents. And I would argue that's because that seems to be our major support. We kind of have what I would call a triple bottom with a bear trap. People got very bearish here only to see the market rally extremely strongly against them to the upside. But since that point in time, we failed to really break above that 63 cent to 64 cent range. So this is our area of resistance. And I'll go ahead and put a little, bar right there. Our area of support seems to be about 50 to 54 cents. So I'll go ahead and put another little bar right there. And so typically when we're in this range right here and we're not really seeing any major breakdowns below this range with a few wicks to the upside, it indicates that there is some buying pressure. I would thoroughly expect this thing, even though it didn't happen this week, to potentially happen sometime in the upcoming week to pump and rally up to 57 cents, considering it is relatively strong to Bitcoin. And so when I pull up the price action on Bitcoin, which is indicated by this green line, since the local lows right back here on July 7th and July 8th of 2024, Bitcoin is only up 3%, while XRP is up a whopping 25%. However, even in the last 3 or 4 days since October 7th, again, these candlesticks represent XRP, the green line represents Bitcoin. You can see Bitcoin actually dumped harder for a loss of about 5.5%, while XRP only lost about 1.75%. XRP over the last 6 years, I would say, has really underperformed Bitcoin. However, this is one of the very first times they're now decoupling, and I would argue XRP is starting to outperform Bitcoin, which leads me to believe that this end of the year bull market rally or the start of 2025 is going to be a tremendous year for XRP. I mean, just look at this green line and how it's dumping and how there's probably a bit more leverage here. Then look at how this line is actually holding on XRP, and it looks like there's a boatload of buyers and strong holders. And so my analysis leads me to believe we are going to likely hit about that 57 cent range. And then I just like to watch it closely. You know, it's likely if we do bounce back up to the 64 cent range, it's going to be the last time we touch the top of this range again. As you knock on a resistance more, it's more likely to break or become weaker. This would be the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5th and 6th time if we touch it over here. So a break above there would likely take us to 74 cents. And that would be our multi-year year resistance. And it's so cool because it's also a confluence of resistances from the previous all-time high all the way back in January of 2018. And you can see that when we touch as many points as possible on this line right here, you toss it on a weekly time frame, and you can see that we are getting to the end of this very, very long range. And the longer the rectangle right here, the stronger the breakout. So a breakout above 64 cents and 74 cents is likely going to take us to our previous all-time high and potentially a new all-time high of $3. We've been talking about this for a long time. Sometimes things take longer than you expect, but I do believe this is a great price to start accumulating. And I would argue if the price dumped to 43 cents or even just slightly lower, those are lifetime buy zones. As you look at the VRVP, we have so much freaking support and trade volume down here. I just don't see it hanging out there for long, especially with all the positive developments in the Ripple business model. So that said, if you are an XRP holder or plan to hold XRP over the upcoming 6 months to a year, highly recommend you go down to bullrunners.com/CryptoLand. You can find that link in either the description below or in the pinned post and comment. Now, here's the reality. There are a lot of comments down there, so make sure it's actually pinned and from us directly, because if you click on any other links, we can't be liable for that. But this is a great way to put your XRP to work in the #1 play to earn XRP game, where you can actually earn crypto and then convert that crypto for XRP. So you can do it in 3 simple steps. You get an XRP wallet, you get your game pieces, you play the game and earn crypto. Now, here's the reality. It doesn't take more than 10 minutes a day. I'm in love with this because I've been earning a lot of XRP on the side. And the reality is I'm not earning a ton right now, right? But I am earning enough that not only does it reduce my volatility, but it increases my XRP bag for when the end of the year bull rally comes. And then I will have so much more money than I ever had possible. Now, the reality is that is my opinion. I think that's going to happen. There are no guarantees in markets. They are risky, but this is a great way to reduce risk because you're already putting that XRP to work. So go ahead and go to bullrunners.com/CryptoLand. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain by simply checking it out. We do have some folks in the community earning a stupid amount of crypto and XRP. We have a few folks earning between 1,000 to 2,000, but they're a bit more involved. So I just recommend you watch these videos so you understand it first, and whatever you're comfortable with, you should do. And if you're not comfortable, no worries, this isn't for you. But we've been promoting it because we're really excited about it. It's really been working. And so just go ahead and go to bullrunners.com/CryptoLand. I look forward to seeing you on the other side, my friend. And as always, if you haven't already subscribed, like the video, it helps us out. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.